Hi guys! I guess it's a good time for me to tell you guys that, well, the car's up in the air in the safest of safe ways, and I started removing the oil pan. Now, although I have jack stands in the rear, I'm on wheel ramps in the front, e-brakes pulled, we're in gear, I've got wheels on each side for safety. Yes, I know, I would not recommend this to anybody. I'm sorry that I'm doing this, but I want to get this oil pan on. I got to get it off. I got 3 days. Lay off. Let's get underneath there. I want to show you guys what I got going on. I've got the heat coming from the top, and then I've got this pad right here. I've got the heat coming from the bottom. This is all the oil the car's actually leaked out in the past 2 days on this shirt, so it's really not that bad. Oil pan is split there. It's split at the bottom. There's a chunk missing from right here. This thing is absolutely clapped. I removed all the 10mm bolts all the way around. And all we have left is 1, 2, wait for it, 3. Where's 3? I didn't take 3. Oh, there it is. I literally feared for my life. I thought it went into the clutch area, which is right there, but it decided to just stand on the wall, and I figured I'd show you guys before it fell in there. And there's a better view from the other one. These bolts are so out of place. Like, look at this. See how it's like that? That's a straight on look at it. So it's on an angle. That one's gonna fight us. And then I gotta remove this 16 mil, this 16 mil, and this 16 mil right behind the dog bone mount. And this pan should be right out. And then we're gonna be relocating this turbo oil drain. The bolts are facing this way on this pan, and on the other one, the top bolt is over here. So we're gonna have to cut it and re-angle it. It's no big deal. Now, I really wanted to fish this out with you guys, so. Oh my God, this is so stressful. Oh my God, bro. I literally went upstairs an hour ago thinking that was in the transmission. And I was so devastated that I made these cookies. And then I thought I was going to sleep. And I said, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. I'm going to go check this out. And everything does happen for a reason. So don't ever overthink a situation. Wow, Volkswagen Audi engineering actually came in handy today. Now you would look at that dog bone mount and say, how am I supposed to get that bolt back there without removing this whole assembly? Well, my friends, Volkswagen put an Allen key head inside of a bolt. So now I could do this. Yep. All right, it's been a couple days, but I've been told by multiple sources that I have a package out here, and we're gonna find. Oh, let's get this thing inside, baby. Well, here it is. I got a Euro Tuning Hybrid 1.8T oil pan for $69, free shipping. This is unsponsored. I don't work with Euro Tuning at the moment. I would love to. Euro Tuning, hit me up. But long story short, we cracked the pan. I was not going OEM. And I got the hybrid pan, which is a steel pan mashed onto an aluminum base. Let's not get too much into it. Let's open this thing up. There's paper. What is it? I think it's a pony. It might be a pony. All right, before I show you guys the oil pan and show you what I also got, extras, I gotta clean up this mess. So, that's clean. Now let's open this guy up. Ow. Ow. Bruh. Get off. There. Mother. Bro, I ran this exact oil pan on my last 1.8T 225 Audi TT. It was also a 2001, so this is literally the same as that car, except I didn't put the other one on my other car. So this is my first oil pan, guys. This is my first oil pan. I'm so excited.
Yay.
The other 3 items that came in this bubble wrap are 1, the RTV that goes and seals up this whole entire oil pan. 2, when you flip this over, you can see them in there. It is the turbo oil drain along with the oil pickup gasket. And this oil pan fits all 1.8 Ts, which is awesome. There's not too much looking around you need to do. It also fits the same exact sump that I've got inside of my car, the oil pickup tube. So I don't need to change any of that. When you crack your oil pan, if it's severe enough, I highly suggest you go ahead and you change out that oil pickup. I'm just gonna go ahead and wash mine today, but I probably don't even need to because we're betting that there's gonna be no metal particles in here. Now it says online on Eurotuning that you should go ahead and reseal this, but now that I look in here, this RTV job is really good. There's not much coming around the lip, and whoever put this together, which I'm guessing was Euro Parts, who they subcontracted through this, they did a good enough job putting this together, so I'm not going to take these bolts out and retorque them. This 1.8T base does not have the oil level sensor, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that underneath the car, but first we're going to focus on getting this into the car. There's 20 bolts here, 3 bolts on the side, just like my oil pan. This is exactly the same casting, just has the metal base. So when I'm going down the road doing 15 miles per hour into a $1 million homes development, I won't crack my oil pan. Yeah. Before I go ahead and RTV this entire subject, I want to go ahead and underneath the car and rip the oil pan out. I didn't take the oil pan out from underneath the car yet because I wanted the car to just be completely sealed up until it was time to take this thing apart. There's a lot of salt on this car. There's a lot of dust in this room. If I was to take that out, it would not have gotten messed up, but the last thing I want is salt and dust going into my engine. So the only thing holding it on is RTV, baby. RTV. Oh, and the oil level sensor. The oil level sensor too. Every person that knows the cold and works in a cold shop, aka my parents' garage, always got to heat up the gloves. When I woke up this morning, it was 3 degrees outside with a wind chill of -9. -9. Thank God for a garage. Some of you guys are working outside, which I did all last winter on my last TT because the Mark V TDI didn't move. That was brutal. If you work outside, highly suggest this. Moving blankets just like that to drape over the vehicle, and then a heating dish just like this placed there. So when you go underneath your vehicle, it's actually like a sauna. When I wasn't keeping you guys up to date 100% with every modification I did last year, a lot of the off time, I was doing mods to the TT outside, literally in the snow, doing exactly what I just said with the heating dish, and it worked flawlessly. So if you do work in a cold climate, try that. I'm telling you, it works. And on these pans specifically, the oil drain is actually tilted this way, where on my pan, it's tilted this way. On an ECS, or I believe Eurotuning as well, most companies have this to relocate this pipe for when you do this mod. Essentially just takes the bolt pattern from being over here, raises it off, puts more bolt pattern on this side, so you're able to use your same exact oil drain without paying the $160 for a new one. But I'm just gonna cut mine. And I'm gonna heat it up, use this tubing to branch it off. So I went on Amazon and I grabbed this 1-inch pipe cutter. It's linked below if you guys need this for anything else. Or this exact job. But I'm gonna go ahead, let's put this on time lapse, and I'm just gonna cut this. It's not gonna make any filings, which is why I got this. I could use a grinder, cut off wheel, but this is gonna keep the whole entire tube free of debris, and it's gonna make a nice clean cut. So now that we got this cut, that cut is so clean. It's way better than if we just hacked it up. There's no dust, there's no nothing. I sprayed that with starter fluid just to get all the oil and grease out of here because I want to play with this. Originally, I was just going to cut it, use a tube, and have it loop weird, but I want the drain system to actually work to its full potential. So I was thinking, that weld on there is pretty good. It's not leaking. There's no potential of it leaking. And this tube is really big for the oil drain. What if I heat this tube up right about here and I just bend it back to where it's supposed to be? So I have this like this, so it's not facing the air, and I just bend it so it's looking like that again. So I think I'm actually just going to heat this up instead of cutting it and welding it, and this thing should be working all again. I got this flange in the vise. It is loose, so it won't bend the flange at all, and I actually just have the 2 opposing ends in here, so it won't be able to rotate. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat this up. We're going to have the torch like this, stick a rod in there, and just bend it ever so lightly, go underneath the car, test it, mock it up, and maybe one day we'll go ahead and reattach this fully to the other one if this does work out. So oh yeah, this thing turned out absolutely just like I wanted it to. So these bolts used to sit straight up and down, and the pipe used to sit on an angle. But now with the bolts being on an angle on the new pan, the pipe still sits on an angle. I just matched them up, and this thing is gonna sit flawlessly. So let's get some grill paint on this so it doesn't rust. This used to be galvanized, but we melted the galvanized off, and don't worry, I had ventilation. Paint prep's done. Just got some blue painter's tape on the backside, an open window, an arm, and a can. This paint job is So lucky. Just kidding, it's covered in mulch. The paint dried, I cleaned all the wood chips off. Quick little nap on the drying rack. Greasy. Greasy. And everything else is removed. Now they want you to get a pry bar underneath here, but there's the hole. I'm gonna use this. Oh, that's coming out perfectly. Oh, perfect. Nice. All right. Oh, that's freaking awesome, man. That was easy. Sweet, we got the oil pan out. I am so stoked on this. This is my first oil pan removal out of all the cars that I've ever owned, all the cars I've ever touched. This is my first oil pan, and that's kind of, you know what? I was gonna say embarrassing, but it's good. It's sick, it's cool, and I love telling you guys it's my first one. So a few things I can tell you about this engine is it actually looks pretty healthy. There's not too much gunk built up. This engine did have 182,000 miles on it, and I've only put 100 on it since I bought it. And I'm probably gonna drive the car maybe 50 miles a week. The inside of this oil pan, it does have some sludge in here. This is all just oil, but in these corners, there are sludge deposits, but they're really not that bad. I mean, you gotta realize the oil drain's over here. This is a spot that's gonna have oil forever. It's a little galley. It's literally got these like stoppers, so oil never leaves this area if it's not seeing the flow. You get what I'm saying? So stuff's gonna build up in here over the years and you're gonna get that thick gunk. But overall, the inside of this oil pan looks pretty normal. It's gold in some areas, which is pretty common. I watch a lot of like Boosted Boys and stuff, and this is what the inside of a K24 literally always looks like. So I feel good about this. Also coming over here where the crack happened, there's no like metal chunks or anything like that. All these chunks that you do see, I'll pick one up for you guys. They're just little chunks of RTV, so nothing I'm too worried about. Grease around the whole entire surface where I'm going to apply the RTV. It was $69 on Eurotuning, shipped next day, and it was free shipping. And now it's here. Well, last night I finished putting the oil pan in. It's all torqued to spec, 20 pounds, 50 pounds. And the oil drain, made a little bridge there. Had to cut the tube a little bit more, bend that a little bit, but that looks really good now. I'm stoked on that. It all looks so good the way it all meets up and stuff. It almost looks OEM. But now it's time to take the oil filter out. Nick, the neighbor, my awesome friend who always saves me, helped me pick up the TT as well. He lent me his oil filter wrench. I ordered one, but it's not here. So Nick, thank you. I want this to be a prime example of how not to install an oil filter. Whoever put this in last, that shouldn't be happening at all. It's an oil filter. No. Like, what was the torque spec on this? I gotta go get an extension to make this more leverage. Now remember, kids, when you put on an oil filter, tighten it up by hand so you can remove it by hand. Not so you can be putting these 2-foot extensions on it. Oh my God. Ugh. Dude, this should be illegal how tight this thing is. Are you kidding me? What is going on here? Oh my God. Okay, well, there's now a hole in it. The channel locks. This thing's dripping. It's got a ton of holes in it, but now it's spinning. Oh my God. Before I got the camera out, it was so hard, and I literally took it at just the right time. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Oh, it's dripping all over me. Can we get it off before it starts dripping all over the place? Oh my God. Oh my God. I got it out. I got it out. Oh. Yo, let's go! Yes! Oh, yes! I'm hyped! A brand new mobile one filled with oil filter up in there, snug down with the wrench. As if I did it with my hand. I literally went like this, felt a little bit of resistance, and I said, that's enough. That's how you want to do it. I'm gonna start low. All right, well, honestly, the battery's probably dead, which is a good thing in this situation because I want to prime the engine, and I really don't feel like unplugging the injectors and all that stuff right now. Right now, you're hearing the water flowing through the engine, and that's because I put the trickle charge on there. I went inside the car, I primed the key 5 times in order to get oil flowing through. I wanted to get everything moving around. I wanted the oil pickup to suck up oil because this thing has been sitting for a couple days with no oil in it, and everything has just dripped down. Now the oil is all primed into the engine. I'm gonna let it sit for a few minutes. Put this thing on super boost right here, and we're gonna turn the key and see if she starts up. I'm nervous. It's go time. Yes! Yes! Everything checks out there. Everything's good. No leaks. Yes! Well, just like that, she's ready to rip. After a few other changes, actually off camera, I changed the O2 sensor. I had repaired it a while back when I first got the car, so about a week ago. Got to check engine light when I turned it on before, and it said bank 1 lean, so I changed the O2 sensor. And now I've got an O2 sensor from Amazon in there. I bought this Amazon O2 sensor for $16. Came next day. Oh, back, baby! Yes! Let's go! Oh, I needed this! Yup. Bro, there's nothing better than a stock TT. I love these things, man. Almost more than the TDIs. That thing sounds insane. I can say that I daily this thing. That is so rad. Bro, this thing is bone stock. Like, you literally cannot beat it. I'm in love. I'm in love. Oh, yeah. It's just singing to me. All-wheel drive, baby. Oh, God. Bites dust. Bah, bah, bah. Another one bites dust. Another one bites, and another one. Why the fuck are you driving a goddamn Camry out in this bitch?